What can change the nature of a man?
I see you have not forgotten. Ravel smiles, her yellowed fangs gleaming. What is your answer? I don't know. Love, hatred, power, greed, betrayal, death, regret, age, suffering, success, the plains. You, Ravel, as you changed my nature forever. Lie. A beautiful woman, Ravel, as you changed me. Nothing can change the nature of a man, Ravel. I cannot answer that question. So all of them are the truth, according to him. And then you can choose to lie specifically. I don't think you can say that the nature of a man can't be changed if all of those past incarnations are also me, and they seem to have very different natures. I think it's fair to say that the paranoid guy that did horrible things is of a different nature than Mr. Neutral Good over here that's been helping people all game. Selflessly. I don't even ask for rewards. Suffering is vague, though. Age, kind of. I am aging forever, and that's kind of what's happening, but I'm losing my memories, and loss of memories is not an option here. Regret seems pretty poignant, honestly. It's also a core element of playing a good character in both Disco Elysium and Planescape Torment, and then encountering what the past you did constantly, and having to face that is constant regret. Regret. And that is your answer. The veins in Ravel's eyes begin to shift slightly, and she gives an evil smile. Be certain before you say. It may not be your answer, but it is my answer. And that is all I wished for, my precious man. Ravel's smile relaxes. A simple answer. And in the end, many are the men I have laid low while they sought my answer. That was the secret, simply to answer honestly. And it's a question that he's had to deal with. That's it. I thought. Ravel cackles. Countless times has the question been asked, and not once did the pathetic shells who came afore me answered with their answer, but always sought to creep inside my mind and find what I thought. Shh. There is no truth in that. Fair enough, though. Like they're threatened with a big they're threatened with a huge punishment if they're wrong, so of course you're trying to figure out what the correct answer is, not being like sincere necessarily. I don't believe you. In fact, I don't think they ever could have answered you true, even if it was true to them. Ravel falls suddenly, strangely silent. She is watching you warily. You never cared about any answer other than mine. Ever, did you? Yet still you asked the question, knowing that no matter what the answer they gave, they would die by your hand.
My journal.
Ravel hisses. Of course your answer was the only one I sought, for you were the only reason I asked the question. Did you think I cared for them? Did you think I even cared a fraction of the amount for them that I cared for you, my precious man? Answer me that. I'm through answering your questions, Ravel. Now you'll answer mine. I'm starting to think that he was the first one she ever asked the question to, and then he made And then as an experiment to test the idea, essentially made him immortal so that he would just go on forever and see if he would ever find the answer himself, essentially. And then just kind of kept asking it to other people as a game, but they're just killing them all as she waited for her first experiment to come back. Of course, ever questions, ever questions. Why did you make me immortal, Ravel? It's what you wanted, seedling. And you asked so sweetly. Now how could Ravel say no to one such as you? Immortality was your solution, and your challenge to me. My solution? But why? I don't know, seedling. Time has chipped away at my memories as well, it would seem. Seem? If you remember, tell me. I'm a curious myself. It must have been something important. Isn't it in the nature of man to want to live forever? Only if what lies on the other path carries greater pain. Ravel, this is very important. Do you have any idea why I asked you to do it? Death was a thing you needed it was a thing you needed to dodge. An easy thing to say, mayhap, but to do it is not. Immortality, even with its flaws, was the best solution this withered mind could untangle. Yet, lead is not easily a change to gold, but it is possible. Thought the unwise, unwise? Ravel. If water can be drawn from blood, mortality could be taken from a mortal, peeled back like a sticky film. So you pulled it off. The gulf between man and unman is great. You traveled the distance. I provided the means, but you crossed on your own. Ravel slaps her head and rakes her hand through her hair. Bad, Ravel. Mortals are too flawed to be made to last. Still, they break. They must be dragged kicking and screaming into an unhealthy new mold. Unhealthy? So the ritual was flawed. Shortcuts must be made, and they can break the molded. For it is not always the mold that breaks, but the substance poured within it. Force something into a shape it was not meant to be, and it breaks. I thought the material was of stronger stuff, but you have been broken. But I am immortal. Surely it was a success. You have survived long, immortal one, but you have become the prey of the creature that is life. She cups her hands, then reverses it, forming a canopy with her hands. The body is but a hut for the soul, but now no one dwells in your hut. What went wrong with the ritual? Puzzle-fleshed broken. Beautiful, beautiful mortal man. The ritual was not a finished thing. Ravel's brows wrinkle, her talons pick at her hair, tugging on a lone strand. The ritual gave you what you wanted, but the ritual gave you what you wanted, but great were the costs. The casting of shadows, the quiet, violent deaths of the mind, and the pain-taking emptiness. These things, are in such a fragile vessel, no matter how strong a mortal man. Regret them and the ritual do I. Casting of shadows. Ungrateful shades, but ungrateful without cause? The shades. They hate you, Nameless One, for they are fathered by you, your children once forsaken. They will never forgive. They will do everything they can to destroy the parent. Such is the way of children. I'm thinking that the shades that hunt us down are our past selves still alive. Like, we genuinely do change people each time. How do I father shades, these shadows? That or the energy taken to revive me kills somebody elsewhere, and then they haunt me. Are they coming? Oh, there they are. Well, they found their way into the maze, seemingly, but then they didn't approach. You cast shadows on existence, Nameless One. With every death, a shadow arises fresh from the fields of your flesh. They wander for a time, but always they return, looking to murder their parent. Such is the way of many offspring. Revel purses her lips in disapproval, then suddenly pokes you in the chest with a talon. And thankless young men, such as yourself. Tell me more about the ritual. The ritual gave you what you wanted. Oh. We're looping. The quiet, violent death of the mind. 1,000 deaths, and you recover from each. Not so the mind. The mind is much more fragile. Its scars run deep and do not heal. The brain is encased in a hard bone shell, difficult to breach, but with no defense against that which eats at it from within. Painstaking emptiness. You have a hole where your mortality once lay within your shell. She makes her hand into a fist and shakes it. Rattle, rattle goes the hollow man, a baby's plaything, with naught but a tiny stone that clutters and clacks in your frame. Despite these problems, it seems like the ritual worked.
Updated my journal.
Do you doubt, Ravel? Of course I delivered on what was promised. Not long after the spell drew to a close, I killed you to see if it had worked. You struggled so, but I kept my grip tight and watched you die your first of many deaths. Revel clacks her teeth. Then was I learned of it in its flaws. What flaws? Ego enwraps us like a prison. Forgot, I did, that it oft-times serves as a shield. Revel clicks her tongue. My pretty, pretty thing. There is much wisdom and understanding in the truth that life is a preparation for the ultimate goal. Death. Our life is a means by which we learn how to die. If we forget such things... So that's when you discovered I lost my memories when I died. Yes, Revel nods. Unfortunate. Without the mortality to hold such memories tight, the shell a body is. What I don't understand is what causes the memories to go away. Mainly because I've died a lot in this game, and canonically I just get back up several of those times, and I don't lose my memory. And so this whole game I've never lost my memory. But I have clearly done it several times. I thought it had to be a super, super, super violent death, like head explode or, you know, axe through head, like brain trauma maybe or something like that, or just a significant death. But it seems like Ravel just choked us to death, which is pretty tame by the terms of what we've done before. So I don't know. Because we lost our memory that time. So you took my mortality from me. Is it still intact? Ravel seems surprised, then alarmed. Yes, yes, yes. Fear not for a broken mortality if you are here. Here? Here, a talking at me, intact your mortality must be. Such a thing cannot not be destroyed as long as you exist. You are an anchor of your mortal soul. As long as you are intact, so shall it be. Made to last are you. Ravel smiles and gives a wheezing laugh. For life swallowed you and spit you out. It swallowed him, but I don't know if he came out at that end. He's calling me a poopy. Enough of this. Look, Ravel, you took my mortality from me, and it has caused me more harm than good. I would take it back now. You have had it over long, I think. Ah, you make a demand. Ravel's black-veined eyes sharpen and twist, taking a disturbing awareness, and she bares her yellow fangs. No, that, Ravel, I will not do. What is undone cannot be done. Why not? Ravel cannot give such a thing to you, my precious man, for Ravel has nothing to give. I never possess you or your mortality, though I wish to keep them both in my garden as selfish affection's keepsakes trace the patterns of your flesh, but such things Ravel could not bring herself to do. Why not? You loved him. Anna breaks her silence. She sounds astonished. You loved him, you did? Ravel gives a low, wide smile. Is that so hard for you to believe, fiendling? She cackles softly to herself. Does Ravel, being Ravel, and thus a myth, not deserve to carry such a feeling in her black, brambled heart? No creature is undeserving of such a feeling, Ravel. Grace speaks softly. The histories do not paint such a compassionate picture of you, however. Shh. The past is past, and histories care little for us speaking the truth of it. Ravel frowns, then her voice drops slightly, threateningly, as she studies Grace. The feeling brushed me, yes. And now hold your silver tongue, abyssal daughter. I need not your soft words to cloud the air here. The man and I shall speak, and you shall bow out of this. I shall attend to you shortly. Enough, Ravel. If you don't have my mortality, where is it? I don't know, sweet thing. But if I were you, I'd get it back quick. No telling what horrible thing someone could do to you if they held your mortality for a ransom. Ravel clicks her talons together. It would be like holding someone's sweet, succulent soul, a puppet dancing on someone's strings. Would you be? And a most sad puppet, too. Too? Know where it is, I do not. Well, it would have been too easy for you to know where it could be found. Looks like I'm off on another hunt. Ah, not so quick to rush off you should be. Ravel gives a horrid smile, her tusks gleaming. I do not know where your mortality lies, my precious man, but there is another way. There is another may carry the knowing of such a thing. Another may know. Who? Ravel's eyes dim, as if she is staring at something in the distance, and her voice slows. A fair-skinned one, must you ask? An angel, a diva, one who soars on the wings of morning with his hands is the architect of horizons. He lies beyond my keeping, in another cage, in another prison. In his knowing is the knowing of what you wish to know. Ask him your questions. Listen to his answers. Use them as guides. Where can I find this angel?
Updated my journal.
180,000. Wow. In leaving this prison, to another cursed prison you will arrive, though it may not appear as such to casual glances. Step lightly and find the golden link in the ever-shortening chain. The light shall give the dark of the matter, and new paths shall open to you. Delightfully cryptic, though not surprising. Thanks. Ravel cackles. Of the past I am not held to particulars. You are fortunate to receive anything, O caustic one. Oh, am I? It's just the chain of who knows what and where they are never seems to be a smooth series of links. Ah. Ravel smiles, holding up one of her talons. And that is why you must keep each link safe, for if they are not smooth now, imagine what the chains will be like when more links shatter. Time and death are not as patient with others as they are with you. What are you saying? What if one of your precious links was to die? And what if you forgot yourself again? What would you do then? Where would your stolen mortality be then? It would be lost forever, for there would be no one left to ask how to reach it. Tracing your path would become harder, mayhap impossible. Honestly, it would be impressive if the links even exist now, considering how much time has passed. True enough. In any event, I had some other questions for you, Ravel. Of course, ever questions. I have some questions about you, Ravel. Yes, ask your questions about Ravel, my precious man. Ravel, who are you? Where did you come from? I? Ravel, am I? A maker and breaker of puzzles, a solver of what cannot be solved, a mind raveling and unraveling until the threads of thought are tied up like knots in a drunken man's hair. Ravel picks at one of her jagged gray hairs. Hairs can be jagged? Is bent? Wrapping it around her finger. It is enough. Enough it is. But what are you? Some have called you a night hag, whatever that is. Night hag? Ravel gives a ghastly smile, her yellowed teeth like needles. I am but a woman who has sorely missed her beloved creation. Some have named me Crone, Grey Lady, Yaga Sister, Night Hag, but myself is my name. Ravel. Ravel who puzzles well, providing conundrums to decipher and laying impossibilities low. But many things are said about we Grey Ladies. A race are we night hags, but an individual am I. Some call us evil of old stalkers of mortal dreams, the kindly ones, ugly, hideous things, whose homes lie in the dark places of men's minds. Ravel's eyes narrow to reddish sparks, but that means nothing to me. What would one such as you call one such as I, pretty thing? You can call her beautiful or ugly to her face and mean it or not mean it. But given the many people she's killed, it's not really a complicated answer. I would call you ugly. Yet ugly I need not be, pretty thing. My shape is but water to my will, and I may reweave its fibers to a more pleasing tapestry. Ravel glances at Fall from Grace, then smiles and licks her lips. Yes. Ravel, what? Oh, is she about to take... Oh, she's just copying her? I thought she was going to actually kill her or something. Ravel has melted into Fall from Grace, taking on her demeanor, her features, her clothes. Is this shape more pleasing? Ravel smiles. Probably, is this shape more pleasing? Ravel smiles, her teeth now a brilliant, perfect white. The lips with just a hint of red. So cultured and breathtaking. She motions you to come closer. Come, my precious man. My lips do not burn with abyssal torments. Lay your lips upon mine. Ravel, stop these games. I have neither time nor patience for them. Resume your form. Mayhap it is the rougher woman that you crave, the one of passionate fire? Ravel glances at Anna, who stiffens as Ravel's gaze pins her. Mayhap it is her that whets your appetite. This is a 90s game, so only the women are even considered as possibilities. Imagine such a time. What a weird decade. Ravel, stop this. I've no more time for your game. Ravel has melted into Anna's shape, taking on her demeanor, her features, her leather vest. This is so much harder. Is it the rough-edged woman that you crave? The one for whom age has not yet tempered her passions? Anna's, Ravel's, tail flicks as if in anticipation. Come, caress my lips with your own, and I shall please you. Ravel, stop these games. I healed. Time passing whenever the simulation runs. You blink and Ravel has twisted back into her original form. A difficult man to please, are you? Pah! And wonder do they why there are no males of your kind. Wow, yeah, the most shocking concept of all. Gay. Incomprehensible to Ravel is this concept. It makes her seem so narrow in scope to not even consider the idea. Granted, the companions I have are of... there is a skull and a burning man, so it's not a great start. But it's also just the idea that I'm like attracted like on that level to these characters I've barely met, because there's just not that much to them yet. So it's like you'd have to be really try hard to be bonded to these characters. Like they're not exactly amicus. But no, I meant ugly as a judgment, not appearance, to be clear. Like calling her beautiful because like, wow, because your mind is so good. I'm like, no, her mind is awful. She's a mass murderer. She's evil. Even if she is capable of love and cares about us specifically, doesn't make her beautiful. She's horrible. What other shapes have you turned yourself into? Maybe some. Mebeth, none. Ravel seems confused by the question. I have not remembered such. I've veen, mayhap? Neither smarta nor Marta. So many threads and branching, so many ravels, always stitching and mending and growing are my forms. You were Iveen in the mortuary. The first character we met, basically, well, besides the old man that was supposedly dying. That may have been one of my names, yes. Ravel looks more confused. Her black veined eyes become misty. Names are difficult to remember. Her voice becomes faint, like calling across a great distance. I think Marta's the surgeon? In her own way, Iveen helped me, Ravel. That means you helped me. I thank you. Almost unconsciously, Ravel's hand reaches out for you, and just for a moment you swear they're Iveen's talons. Stand your ground. Ravel's left hand plucks a hair from her head, hooks it through her talons, and lightning-like she jabs the other talon into the skin of one of your scars. It's barely more than a pinprick, but it looks like she's about to start stitching you up.
Updated my journal.
As if it was Iveen, max HP up 3. The sensation is curiously painless, but the thread and stitching seems to be going much deeper, almost inside you, without actually going beyond the surface of the skin. In moments, Ravel's talons draw back, and you feel better, stronger. Ravel mutters in Iveen's voice, "Dumb Zomphy." Mebeth. You were Mebeth. Who is Mebeth? Let's see. I'm pretty sure Marta's the surgeon, but who is Mebeth? Old Mebeth mage trainer? Oh, she's the rag picker square mage trainer. Yeah, she's like the first person that I could stay at the house of and everything. Mebeth was kind to me and helped me, Ravel. That means you helped me, and I thank you. As you mentioned, Mebeth, all the color seems to bleed out of Ravel's face until she is gray and ashen. Literally. It's like the color just vanished. And who might ye be, hmm? Does your path bring you back to old Mebeth's door, child? Yes. It does, Mebeth. I, came to learn more of the art. Can you teach me any more? Ha! I am but a midwife, child. Such powers as the art commands is much beyond me. I don't think so. I think you may have more to teach me than you realize. Much more. Then comes the question like an echo. You want to learn the art, do you? Why do you want to learn of such things? Because I may need it to solve the mystery of who I am. After a moment, Ravel, Mebeth, nods. The art may help, it may not, and ye must not rely on it to solve all your problems. She sighs. Child, it's most like only going to add another chip to your pile of questions. He looks in close. But if you'd know, then listen.
Updated my journal.
90,000 experience, jeez. And wisdom +1. Okay. Mebeth, Ravel, whispered something, and you feel different. Changed somehow. She told you something horrible. Something you know. Something about how the planes work. But your mind has shut out her words, and you cannot recall them. Just thinking about them sends your heart pounding. Ravel told you something you're not sure anyone was meant to know. She's watching you. Studying you. What? This is interesting because this suggests things about what's happening here. Like, she's supposed to be imprisoned here, so how is she these other people throughout my journey also? That raises some questions. But also, if she is the same person for my journey, like... it could be that, like, because she could be She could have been trapped in here for so long by the Lady of Blades, I think her name was, that she's going through what I'm going through. She's losing her nature and changing as a person over the course of being alive for so long. In this case, maybe even having some level of like isolation torture, being alone here. She might not have quite the same evil edge she had before, and now is just tired, but also just splitting. Like, she might be manifesting these other people back in Sigil, despite being trapped here. Like an escape, but an escape that's not worth the Lady of Blades, Lady of Pain? I'm really better remember this person's name because she never shows up. But she might be escaping piece by piece, but in forms that are not recognizable as Ravel. So the Lady of Pain either doesn't care, either doesn't notice or doesn't care, knowing that it's not really of consequence. You were that balmy seamstress in the buried village, Morte. That may have been one of my names. Yes. Names are difficult to remember, like calling across a great distance. Morte was balmy, Ravel, but she was not unkind and not unhelpful. If you were her, then you mean me no harm. I thank you. As you say her name, Ravel's face seems to shift. Her blue skin sags until she's wearing the same sour, curd-faced expression you saw on Morte's face. Come now. Don't be all difficult to Morte. She raises the talon of her index finger like a scalpel and advances upon you. False, nasty corpse. Ravel's filthy talon jabs into your abdomen, then pulls it brutally downwards in a saw-like motion, but there is no pain. You watch as the skin peels slowly back from her touch. No blood issues from the wound. Look at this, Morte. Look at this. Ravel's free hand digs into your chest, where she loops your intestines up like yarn and plucks them from your stomach. They're still in my inventory. As she does, your stomach seals up, as if time was going backwards. Ravel holds up your intestines like a trophy. Pretty, pretty, eh, Morte? One shouldn't swallow such a thing. No, no. Can I have those back, please? I might need them later. She hands you the ropey mass. Despite the freshness, the fluids surrounding your intestines have dried like resin. It feels much more like a loop of glazed rope. Thanks. I'll treasure this always.
Updated my journal.
Morte, Ravel, nods slowly. As well he should. Shouldn't he, Morte? Yes. Yes, he should, Morte. Powerful magic to be found in the guts of an immortal. Yes. Not like teethies or eyes. I wonder if there's more people I could have met. But 3 is a lot. Well, that sure happened. What is this place? Ravel gestures around her. Once a maze of lifeless stone it was, featureless. But a small black seed was wound in my hair when I came to this place, and it grew strong amongst the stone, flourishing, until it ran thick throughout the maze like the unraveling hair of a crone. And so this maze of another became my garden. So that's why it's like this. She's been here for so long that a single seed grew into this entire area. Why were you imprisoned, Ravel? I tried to help a lady, and kindly she did not take to it. She did not like it. The Lady of Pain. You tried to help her? My offering of help was unwelcome. I tried to set her free. Sigil is the cage. A city of doors and locks is a prison for her. It must be, mustn't it be? Why else call the city of Sigil the cage? And who is caged? The lady. A prison so small for one so great. Unjustness, wrongness, intolerable to torment a woman thusly. I think I know who should be in a cage. She literally is. Well, not exactly a cage. I tried to break the cage. Let the lady go free. She makes a shooing motion, her expression becoming pained as she scatters invisible birds. Shoo! Shoo, O pained woman! Let Sigil's ring be broken so that you might fly far from this filthy streets and the stupid Dabbus, and dare not speak in words for fear their thoughts would be overheard. Ravel's hands slowly stop their shooing motion, and she gives a slow sigh. Before I could finish, I have found myself here, and my memories none the better for the trip. Much has slipped away, much forgotten. Yes, it was. Is? Was? Ravel smiles with her yellowed teeth. The dwindling of memory has become a comfort to those old bones. Much have I forgotten. I am fortunate in that I still remember you. Ravel, but why did you try to free the Lady of Pain from Sigil?
My journal.
Ravel's voice drops, almost reprimanding. I resent anyone, even a power, being imprisoned, and think that everyone, whatever stones, shores, or quiet-bladed ladies, should be free. Some have said, more fool, I. Why risk such a thing, they said. Is that what you were trying to do when I met you so long ago? Were you trying to set me free? Quite possibly. Possibly quite. Life's chains and fear of death may have gripped too tightly on the man I knew. Knew then. Ravel picks at one of her jagged gray hairs, wrapping it around her finger. No liking for chains and cages does Ravel have. Ah, so I was caged somehow, or chained. It sounds to me as if your memory is stirring, Ravel. Yes. Ravel blinks for a moment, and her black-veined eyes become duller, as if she had been struck with a heavy weapon. Her talon tightens around the gray hair, so tightly it looks like she is about to tear it from her skull. Mayhap you were trapped, but it was no normal cage that held you. Do you have any idea what held me?
Updated my journal.
Ravel looks confused. Her face twists, as if she is fighting an unpleasant thought. I have forgotten. Mayhap a promise? No. Her finger tightens around the gray hair, and to your surprise there is a snap like a twig breaking, and Ravel tears the hair from her head. A trickle of black blood worms from beneath her skull cap, and she hisses in anger. Ravel, are you all right? No more, will I say. Ravel's face wrinkles in pain. The talon covered with the bloody, tipped gray hair. Even plucked from her head, it looks jagged and stiff. I do not know, and no knowing shall I share. She stares down at the gray hair wrapped around her talon, and then she hisses and flicks it to you. Take this, and leave the past where it lies, half-man. She gave me her hair. Very well, then there's nothing more to be said on this matter. I had some other questions. The legends claim you are a powerful mage, Ravel. Can you teach me some of the art? Ravel frowns disapprovingly, her bluish skin twisting like a rag. Does Ravel know the art? Is your mind gone away of the mortality, a thing all up and lost? I have forgotten more of the art than you shall. She jabs you with one of her talons. Ever? She jabs you again. No. Can you teach me some of the art then? Ravel snorts. Ha! I will not be sharing my knowledge with none but a true practitioner and no other, and nothing will bend me on this, not even you. Yeah, I'm not groveling with and praising out of principle with her. Questions concerning my immortality, that's gotta be the old questions again. Thank you for the information you have given me, Ravel. I must leave now. I'm getting worn out from the over an hour of dialogue I think we've had. I've been like, oh fuck. Hold. Ravel's voice drops to a low hiss, like that of a serpent. The most important question you have yet to ask, my precious man. Has it occurred to you yet? Yes. I need to know how to leave this place. Do you know the answer to this question? I know the branchings of this place, the twistings and bendings and burrowings, though there are no leaves here. One may take their leave when they wish it. So you do know how to leave. Wrap your hands about you like branches. Make them encircle your chest like a cage. Step from the edge of the maze into the darkness, and into another cage your body shall go. A simple leaving, but there is no return when that final step is taken. So take heed, and take what you need before you take the step. Which of the edges of the maze do I leave by? Which? A question posed to the witch. Which? One of the edges knows. Not I, the remembering of which has failed me, and the edges of the maze have had little to say on the matter. You've known how to leave all this time. Then why don't you leave? Why stay when one can leave, is your question to me? Ravel breaks into a crooked smile, displaying a row of fangs. I turn the question upon its head and send it scurrying back to you. The answer lies not in the staying or leaving, but in the causes and reasons, my precious half-man. Don't you want to leave? It is a want. A once want, but now not a now want. And more a knotted want. What do I need that lies beyond my brambled walls? It is a cruel, jagged world beyond the edges of this maze, and Ravel has pulled enough of its shards from her skin. Very well. Thank you, Ravel. I must bid you farewell. I must bid you farewell. I must bid you farewell. As you are about to utter your farewell, you suddenly feel a crawling sensation in your skull, and you notice that Ravel's black-veined eyes have taken on a strange, predatory fire. You're not going to let me leave, are you, Ravel? A perceptive question, yet it not the real question. Ravel's voice takes on a strange whisper, very sad, that sends a faint echo through your mind. The question is, do you wish to leave, half-man? I do not wish to be trapped here in this place, Ravel. It is your home, not mine. No, this. Ravel raises a taloned finger as if warning you. No, it is our home, my precious half-man. 2 immortals shall we be in this black, brambled garden, and I shall keep you safe from the plains. I think you know not what you say, Ravel. There's a terrible shimmering in the air around Ravel, and the sound of snapping twigs and cracking tree limbs, and the horrid sound of the trees bending and splintering. What? Ravel's lips peel back and her voice becomes shrill like a howling wind. What do you know of knowing, half-man? Know this? No, you will stay here until the end days in my brambled garden, never to leave, and you shall love me as you were meant, as you promised. I'm afraid I would be poor company, Ravel, and I cannot stay in any event. I'm afraid you must allow me passage. I shall not let you leave. I have the power to keep you here, and I shall use it. My black barbed maze shall not allow you to travel beyond it while I live, my precious, precious man. Ravel, I don't want to fight you. Don't do this. Allow me passage and I shall return to visit you. You need not be alone in this place. Return? Return as you claimed you would so long ago? No, you shall not lie to Ravel twice. No more centuries will I wait for you. Ravel's lips peel back, and her talons seem to grow into fiendish claws. Here, in my garden, you will stay, and to wander the plains you will no longer. Ravel, calm yourself. There's no need for this.
You have forgotten your place, half-man. Humility is in order.
Ravel, don't do this.
Updated my journal. Stronger.
Can we save? Can we save before a boss fight happens or something? That was an incredible amount of dialogue.
Attend me, my soul.
No! Okay, everybody leveled though. So I guess I'll do that real quick. 5 people leveled out of the party of 6 because that was just a absolute mountain of experience. And going through the dialogue just made that more true. Fighting skills have improved. Can make my strength a little bit better. Constitution's a little tempting, but increased abilities, lore, hit points. Plus 1 edged weapon, fighting skills. Fighting skills, spell memorization. Whoa! Plus 1 fist, saving throws improved, fighting skills improved, backstab multiplier increased by 1. Oh, that's a lot. That's like a times 3 or 4 or something? Like, that's a huge amount of damage. 20 thief skills, and then 9 hit points. Okay, she has 102 hit points, so that's neat. God, she only has 55. And Morte's under-leveled. I have more than double Morte's experience, oh god. But he is still kind of hardy. Okay. Treated intestines. Now I have 2 sets of intestines. What the fuck does that mean? Treated intestines. Weight 2. This ropey mass of bloody intestines is yours. Ravel pulled them quickly and painlessly out of your body as she once you reverted to Morte during your conversation in the black barbed maze. The fluids surrounding these intestines have congealed into a slick resin, and holding them is like holding a dry, rubbery cord. You have to admit it makes you uncomfortable to see them outside your body. Ravel, Morte, whoever that insane hag was, mentioned that these intestines would serve as a powerful charm, but you have no idea how they could be used. It's a bracelet piece? I can't identify it, so I don't think it does anything without being identified. Huh. I guess it works even if it doesn't tell you how it works. It gave me better armor class, and it gave me better maximum hit points. But a number of attacks too? Did it give me that? I don't even know. Just checking for negative effects. I have a -1 saving throw for a bunch of the things, but that was already there. I don't know. It seems like I get the positive effects even if I don't know what it is, so it's worth equipping right now. Fighters and living creatures, +1 strength. This is thieves only, so nobody else. You're a fighter, as most of us are, on some level. Now he has +1 strength, that'll come in handy. 18. Also gave me Ravel's gray hair. This is one of Ravel's long gray hairs. It's so old it looks like her normally gray hair is turning an even wider shade of gray. It must be a few feet long. And it looks pretty tough to boot. All we know is that it goes into this inventory slot. Maybe it's maybe it opens portals? Could be. It might open portals. I'm nervous about the fact that this fight's apparently about to start. God damn it. Okay, I know these enemies aren't strong, but she might be. But just the possibility that I could lose after all that dialogue and have to recreate it is just like, no, please. Like, I really hope that... I don't think it did, though, but it'd be nice if it just made a save point or something. Please. So many bonuses, though. I got this intestine item, and 1 wisdom, and 3 HP, and everyone leveled.
I'm listening.
Let's try our best here. Oh god, I don't even have all my spells. Because of the fighting up till here. Prayer.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
Scripture of Steel.
Yeah?
Litany of Curses works specifically on spellcasters, supposedly, although she might be good at resisting it. Elemental Strike. Actually, let's do that on one of the other guys to just remove them. You're buffing, you're buffing. You'll stay still for a second. And you... The occasion seems worth it. Let's throw the Shackle of Light at them. Oh god, please don't kill me. Wow. Oh, well, it killed basically all of their ads, and we're healthy enough, so I guess it was no friendly fire. That was fun. I used the absurd item that I had on hand. Alright, and Ravel seems to have been successfully baited by that. Let's have both melee people fight the other Tridget real quick.
I'm here.
You can call lightning Morte.
I hear your words.
You can strength buff our protagonist man. What is being selected right now? Trying to group select. There we go. Everybody fight Morte together here. You use the weird skull ability, I guess. Use a big heal on him.
What do you wish of Ignis?
And you keep attacking. Oh, that looks weird. Oh, the weird skeleton guys are new. Was it the floppy hands? They're maybe supposed to be claws, but they just look like floppy fingers, like the hot dog universe from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Wee. Well.
Done.
Here's a nice button to press. Save. I may have burned through some stuff here trying to make sure that fight won. Black barbed necklace. There's a string of black barbed seeds linked together by one of Ravel's long gray hairs. There's one of Ravel's improvised charms. When this string of seeds is sliced at the right spot, the necklace unravels around the caster, surrounding the user with the black barbed shield that will protect them from attacks and also damage anyone attempting to harm the caster. It's one that you use manually. Scroll of Black Sphere. The power of force. A wave of concussive force explodes out in a 10-foot radius that not only damages but imprisons as well. More heart charms. Alright, because I moved them all to her. Fiendish Eye. This slitted red eyeball makes you uncomfortable just looking at it. It looks like it was taken from some huge reptile, and it's still moist, as if it was just taken from the unfortunate creature's socket. So maybe identify that one first. It might be cursed. Ravel's fingernail. 2 to 4 piercing. Not usable by priests. This twisted fingernail of extruded night hag skin. Nail or skin has got to be one of the ugliest things you've ever seen. Its mottled green, red, and black surface is almost a foot long, and it seems like it was used alternately as a scratching aid, nose-picking tool, and gardening trowel. Looking at it makes you wish that Ravel did chew her nails, or at least had a nail file with her in the maze. We're just getting mean now. We're just going after her. Jeez. She kind of seemed like an almost sad character by the end. We're just leaning in now. Okay. I'm overdue for a break. Then we'll figure out what the hell to do here.